Hi, my name is Dom. I'm a product manager in the Cloud Services Enablement team, and it's so much of a privilege for me to tell you a bit of our latest 3.0 release that we are introducing and to show you the aggregation platform for service providers to run a public cloud. I can tell you now what we are introducing as so many new features in the latest version of the product, and by reinforcing the user experience but also the service provider experience. So if you are a service provider customer, we are now delivering with the product a completely revamped new user experience. You know what? Fundamentally, we trashed our previous version of the product, created a new one, totally aligned and in collaboration with our colleagues from the CCUE teams in the Converge Cloud initiative. And as a result, what you get now with this new version is, as you will see on the dashboard, the full interface is now ready for users to find their way in just a few clicks throughout the application. So not only we've introduced this dashboard, but we have absolutely standardized on the simplification of the user experience. Of course, this is a complete new product, so it's using the latest HTML5 and CSS3 technologies. What we are really introducing with this complete new version of the marketplace portal is the ability for users to find their way every day from their dashboard that is personal throughout the application. So not only it acts as a navigator throughout the entire application, but it really provides them with exactly what they need every day, whether starting to browse the marketplace and find as subscriptions, but also it gives them a view in case they have existing requests that are still pending approval, or they can at any time see all their past orders and status and configurations, as well as access their services. Actually, once they have running services, another thing we have introduced in this version is in the click of a mouse or tap of a finger, they can run every of their subscriptions with single sign-on, which is so easy for them in their daily work as a complete environment. Now, of course, one of the very important features we are introducing with the 3.0 release is also the service provider ability to better manage catalogs and organizations. So the way we have done that is we have drastically improved the content management handling on the backend that the service provider will use. And this backend now allows the possibility to put marketing information, marketing collaterals, marketing descriptions, and also text that you can put as taglines or also characteristics per each defined offer, so that every user not only will see these offers and their price and so on, whether they are preset or tailored or can be customized on demand at purchase time, but effectively can be now compared very easily like in a shopping center. The idea is to maximize the possibilities and ease of every subscriber being in a company to be able to find what they're looking for. So, of course, this is a combination, right? The service provider experience empowering the product management people to put offers to market for the aggregation. And you know what? That's still combining all the possibilities of hosting infrastructure services or using remote infrastructure services or software applications. Some of them can be hosted as well. Typically, you would buy mailboxes, but have a huge Exchange server on the back end in a multi-tenant environment. Other types of applications like Office 365, where some of our customers can be syndication partners from Microsoft and therefore host the entire solution, or actually just be resellers kind of, and therefore sell the available service plans to their markets. However, with Office 365 coming from Microsoft and typically on a Microsoft.com domain. Other types of software applications obviously include two more cases, respectively. Cases where you buy on the marketplace portal via your service provider, but this application actually still resides on a public external cloud. And we connect to this via the subscription method, again, with single sign-on. We have last category of applications, typical applications like antivirus, like McAfee. What you do is you can purchase your subscriptions relevant to the number of employees or number of devices you want to protect. But in reality, this is not much a cloud service usage, because what it is once you subscribe, you get to the online portal, again, via single sign-on for managing the licenses that you own. However, obviously, you will download the antivirus software and load it onto each relevant device. So with this said, it gives you a brief of how many such models we support throughout the application for aggregation and in fact for true syndication, whether again hosted or coming from ISV partners. In fact, we do have now an ISV program starting also together with our enterprise services go-to-market. There is a special team in charge of that, and this will help us define better all these portfolios for go-to-market. Now, of course, for service providers, you know what? The issue is not that much whether you want to have 20,000 apps in the App Store for business customers. The issue is more what's the right package. And when we talk right package, this is like Office in a box type applications, where it's almost like defining a workplace environment coming from the cloud directly to the small and medium businesses, so that they suddenly get their entire IT from the cloud and do not anymore own an IT room. That's the fundamental premise of the offer. Now, of course, the big value is many of our service providers being carriers. The beauty of that is they can bundle every such service together with guaranteed service level agreements, but also support levels, which other operators like over the top would see less as a value by themselves. And therefore, this is an advantage where, as a customer, at the end, you get a better experience, because through the marketplace, you are able to find your way and operate everything every day, but actually also be sure that you have a secure and reliable system. Now, of course, on the back end, a lot of people will be busy on the infrastructure and on the data centers to make sure that all these bundles, not only the subscription itself, but if you think about platform as a service type offerings, obviously there is a need to properly manage the capacity planning, but also the right sizing for this hosting, all taken care of at infrastructure service design. Service design such as done with cloud service automation, and very soon, as we are busy working on it with Cloud System 8 and also Cloud OS. Of course, it gives other advantages in that services can be defined actually just once. If you really think about an infrastructure service, which is very typical, IT people at the service provider, they will be very busy designing the service, and they can take a couple of weeks to do that. It's no problem, because it's a one-time exercise, so that they can test and deploy very tricky services. Again, you know, when it starts to combine frontier set of servers and back-end tier set of servers with the networking, with the service levels and all the possibilities, this remains a one-time exercise. The reason for that is because with our aggregation platform, then the service provider product managers, the people in charge of managing the catalog, all what they have to do is pick up these services and then start to define their own service plans. Service plans means they will be able to say, all right, so my infrastructure service as it was designed by IT, for example, is capable to deliver this many servers per server group and this much capacity and CPU and memory and disk and shared storage inside such server group. All right, I'm going to make a couple of offers out of that. And I can make like a 2-server offer and a 4-server offer, and then the fixed CPU memory, so that in one click typical users can get access to such systems very easily, but then also create more custom offers where it's actually self-care that will help every customer and end user configure the system for himself and configure all the characteristics of the service. Again, all these offers, they can be easily onboarded and created really via the catalog management by the product management teams at the service provider, but in reality without any need to change the IT stack and the IT work behind it. So it's been quite a lot of discussions, of course, about that. But again, in reality, this is like distinct worlds between preparing all what the backend will provide and can offer, and then putting this to market. And again, our aggregation platform is designed so that service providers can go to market directly to their businesses and customers, but also go to market indirectly, such as via a channel of resellers. So now let's get back into the shoes of a typical end user. In reality, end users are companies, right? And they are, in our case, quite often small and medium businesses, customers of the service provider, but could also be larger organizations between 250 to thousands of employees per each of the customers of the service provider. So for this reason, we provide built-in, out of the box, the capability so that such customers, when they are subscribing to the offers from the service provider and become a cloud member, in reality, not only they can get all these services that I was describing before from that cloud, but also manage their company. The reason they can do that is built in with the application, every customer can, number one, self-register online, but once approved and once being a cloud member from the service provider, then they can still entirely manage their staff and their employees, as well as manage their groups, create groups or arrange them to reflect actually their organization, as well as manage their roles and privileges. The beauty of that is it's a complete user management, self-care, by responsible people inside the customer organization themselves. Now, we have more than that, because after defining all these users that can suddenly become subscribers of the service provider catalog of offers, in reality, we have a special persona designed for each of such customer, and that persona is what we call the SMB admin. In reality, executive level people or IT level people that will be able to make decisions what their company is allowed to do and what their staff is allowed to do. For this purpose, such individual at all times, and in fact in real time, is able to define for each of the catalog items that are made available from the service provider to say, okay, now this particular product, is it available to everybody from my staff to purchase, or not everybody, like a selection by group or by named users, or is it totally hidden and reserved to just a few particular individuals who have the equivalent privileges to be able to use that? So this is already a step for self-care inside every customer organization so that they decide what is made available in the secure environment for all the staff users. Now, additional to that, there is more that they can do, because once making decisions on what the staff will see in their private company marketplace or not see, in fact, any such executive can also set approvals, in fact, approval processes, and they can define multi-level approvals, like this particular product will be free and will not require management approval, but this other product in real time can be set as requiring level 1 approval by a set of named users, and then level 2 approvals. And In case this is done, then every staff member, when placing an order, will be notified that this request is requiring an approval, and will at any time, or again, tracking his orders, be able to see all where they are in the approval chain by also entering comments to the approver. In fact, the approver himself, when approving or declining, can also send a comment back. Very simple system, but very powerful system, so that there is the ease of use again for all the staff members, but at the same time the required control by the executives and the management inside every customer organization, so that they keep their IT under control. The same is available, of course, for running services. We have the capability that each user can at all times perform post-subscription actions, as we call it, and in fact post-subscription settings, such as flexing a given service for more capacity. I was mentioning antivirus before. It's absolutely possible to say, today I want 10 antivirus licenses to protect my equipment, but next week to grow the same subscription to another 15. The other possibilities, of course, are absolutely similar and presented in such an easy way as well for infrastructure services, like add more CPU capacity or add more memory or grow the disk storage on demand, on the fly, for existing running services without any interruption. In fact, while you do so, more and more you just keep going, and you will see more resources are suddenly available for you to use. So that's kind of an overview, and thanks again for watching us. It's been a pleasure. So still, in those very interesting and productive discussions that we had, both with our colleagues here on the show floor at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, but definitely even more with customers, we got some hard talks, hard questions. Hard questions being, right, but so how do I create appetite for such public cloud services inside my markets? And how do I make sure that this can be effectively used by my customers? Let me give you some of the secret sauce that we have put behind the work we've done on reworking the 3.0 version to maximize such capabilities. This is a system designed for online use, obviously, and this is designed for cloud, therefore remote from customer premises. We have put two important fundamentals in our design. First of all, if you remember, the purchase experience from login to getting into your dashboard, then browsing the marketplace, picking up an offer, and eventually configuring or picking up a tailored preset offer until checkout. We've put so much effort so that somebody who knows what they're looking for, they can complete this entire workflow in just as low as 7 seconds. Now, it's no mystery. The reason we focus on that special number, 7 seconds, this is exactly what we know is measured as the time when humans are online until they can switch mind and go to the next portal. So for service providers, it's extremely important, because with this application, when you are able to complete a purchase in such little time, users will have no chance to switch screen and go on Amazon. This is the first response we're putting to create this appetite, but then to capture the eyeball and improve the stickiness. Now, there is more into this. Obviously, we're talking about a system that is designed so that companies can use IT that doesn't sit into their premises anymore, but all resides in the cloud. Well, it's very good for businesses, but at the same time, those very businesses, second question we really got here on the show floor, these businesses don't want this to become chaos. Like, my staff is using all IT from the cloud, but where is it? Is everybody using the same? Where is my backup? The guy is on vacation. It's his account. Where's my backup? What we have put in this application, let me show you the second secret. Executive people or IT responsible people inside every customer organization, they still have a dashboard. But you see, it's a very special and different dashboard. Not only you can manage users, but you actually, when you take a look at the services, you can manage as well entirely the number of running subscriptions at any time, and in fact in real time. You can see what are all the subscriptions inside the organization and who is using each such subscription and how much is being spent per individual on a particular subscription. In reality, this means that despite everything is running on the cloud, management at all times remains in control. They know how much they're spending, they know on what they're spending it, they know what they are using, and they know who is using it and not using it. Even more, they also have the ability to take over an existing user subscription, suspend it or resume it on their behalf. So if you remember, despite those are real hard questions from service providers as well as end customers, right? In reality, if you think about it, this is like all the benefits of moving to cloud, removing IT from the under the desk dusty disk drives, right? Using the cloud with all the flexibility of the cloud, but in fact, at the end of the day, getting more control over the corporate IT than ever before, because management has a complete view in real time of everything what's going on.